Hello, everyone. Here we are to our last Director and Beyond call. Went by fast, didn't it? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we have this call was to be our wrap-up call and to kind of talk about what momentum we've had going from the call series so far. So I think it would be a good idea for us to just step back about 3 steps and kind of talk about why we really want leadership. I think that it's important that you connect to that. Even, I know Kim would tell you this, I'll tell you this, is you always need to reconnect to the reason you want to be a director, no matter if you've been in the business a year, you've been in the business, a month, or you've been in the business 30 years like myself, because, things change. So how many of you had the opportunity to listen to the Have It All calls that were on? Okay, Janae, okay, and Melba, okay. So Lisa and Penny, we can't see you, so we'll assume that if you want to type in the chat box, if you did, Lisa, you did listen to them, okay? So you can always type in the chat box if you're not available. So one of the big things that they had in call number 1 was asking you, why do you want it all? Kind of what it is that is really your driving force, okay? So let's kind of think about that. What do you like to do? What if you had it all, what would you do with all of it? Meaning, what would you do with all that money if money's your reason? What would you do with all that free time if flexibility is your reason? How would you lead your team if it's about that leadership recognition that you're looking for? So I want you to think about that for a minute. I want you to write it down and really look closely at that. So we mentioned right from the beginning of this call series that this was your tribe. These are your people. These are the people that you need to be vulnerable to, you need to be open to. And we didn't see as much sharing as we would like to, so you're going to get an opportunity right now to reprieve yourself and to share with this group. And we have a small group here, and so I want to say kudos to all of you because you're here, and that means that you have made the commitment to stick with the program. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going to happen after this, after we get through this call. So who would like to be the first person to share what would it be like to have it all? What does having it all mean to you? And what would you do with it? Melba?
Well, I'd like to be completely out of debt and have money to go where me and Larry want to go since we're retired, and be able to maybe have a place somewhere on a beach.
Okay, great. So
and
Melba,
a camper. Larry wants a camper.
Okay, so camper. So Melba, what beach are you going to go to?
Well, I've always wanted to go to Florida, but since we've been up to South Carolina to the beach up there where Kerr Beach, that was very nice and very relaxing. So I think maybe I might change my mind.
Okay. And what kind of camper do you want?
I just want a small camper that wouldn't be hard for us to take. Sorry, my phone's ringing. So just something easy for us to carry.
Okay. And so I'm not going to ask you to share your debt, but you know that number, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. So what you can see when I'm trying to ask Melba, I'm going to ask each of you the same thing, is when you describe what does it all mean to you, it means to be so clear that, that if it's a financial need, if it's a number, if it's a credit card you're paying off, if it's a new car that you want to buy, if it's a camper, you should be so clear, Melba, that you should know what that camper color is
Okay.
in order to really keep aligned to what you're working towards. Okay. Thanks, Melba. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. Who else? Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Yeah.
Or Kim, if you want to go ahead.
Either one, yeah. So I want to be self-supportive. Right now, I rely heavily on child support from my ex, and I want that to not. I want that to not be an issue anymore. I've got 4 kids that I know 3 of them, and probably the 4th one are going to all need braces, and that is something that I just can't afford right now, and it really, really bothers me that I can't, because I know they need it, and I don't want to put them in a position where they have to go through extra pain and suffering because I wasn't financially responsible. So
Thanks, Kim. Okay, so you again, there was Kim. Thank you for your vulnerability. You could see that we'll do anything for our children. Thank you for that. All right, Miss Sally.
So part of mine is financial. So the financial part is vacations, like, saving some money for vacations. And we bought a house like 5 years ago that we've been slowly remodeling parts of, inside and outside. So kind of continue with some of those as well. But part of it for me too is the camaraderie just with the other directors, because I've been director twice and lost it twice. And so most of my friends especially our local, part of the organization are the people that are directors or upper level directors. And, so I just kind of missed some of the camaraderie with the director meetings and the director interaction and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I'd say mine's kind of twofold. Okay,
great. Okay. Yes, it's never any fun to be kicked out of the fold, is it?
No.
So, exactly. Okay. Thank you, Sally. Okay, so who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Janae?
Mine would be to be more financial stable, also to be able to, have the money to go to trips that me and Dallas go, or me and Dallas and Brentley, or just and also Chicago coming up. I'm trying to get money up for that, and it's just sometimes a struggle, and so that, and also getting back to the director crew. I miss you all. And the products, getting them free, and so that is what I want to get back to.
Okay. So Sally and Janae, did you write that down? Did you write all those things down?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Penny or Lisa, do you want to share?
I'll go.
Okay, thanks, Penny.
My internet is down, so I'm doing this from my phone. So
okay.
I want to help supplement the income. My husband has supported our family for well over 20 years, and recently lost his job with Duke Energy right after Thanksgiving. He has a new job, but it's not, what it used to pay. And so I want to supplement the income. But not only that, when all of this happened, my kids are both graduated and in college also. And I'm ready to work on me now and do me. So.
Good. That's great, Penny. Thank you. Thank you. I think Lisa typed in the chat box here. Let's see. Lisa said, pay off current bills. Don't worry about bills. More financially stable and helping others. So awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa. Okay. So how many of you could say that you maximized this program and feel like you got the most out of it that you could? Okay. How many of you feel like you really put the work in and it just, you know, you worked hours and hours and hours and it didn't happen? Okay. So sometimes when we work a program and it doesn't happen, we have to look at the reasons why. And the reasons, and Kim has gone through this training before, but the reasons traditionally fall into 3 categories. So when I talk about these categories, I want you to think about, where did your crack happen? Okay. So we're going to look at these as buckets, 3 different buckets. And the first bucket is skill. Okay. So do you feel like you didn't maximize the program because you didn't have the skill? And if that was the case, then everyone that's here has been with Pampered Chef long enough to know where to go. Okay. First of all, we are very, very blessed that we have a very close community within our team. So whenever, if there's something that I don't know, or something that Cindy doesn't know, or you know, something that we have strength in different areas. We also have Pampered Chef University, which has so much information. So if you have not become a student of Pampered Chef University, and also if you're wanting to be a leader in the company, you need to know where to direct people. So you always need to be looking at where you can go. So example, I'm going to screen share here. And I'm going to show you, hold on a second, let me pull up this other screen because it'll be easier than when I pull it. Hold on. Okay, can you see PC, my home screen? Okay.
Yep.
So here's one of the best places, and this is a fabulous training that Kathy Cocazella pointed out to us. If you go to Pampered Chef University here, and then you go to check it out, and scroll all the way down here to resources. Because I wanted you to do a raising hands. How many of you still feel like your stumbling block is bookings? Who's still struggling with bookings? Okay. So when you click here and you go to this national conference training, now, you know, some of us were at national conference. However, if you're like myself, refresher courses are a good thing. But this will be one of the most valuable trainings to you, because what they've done here is they've taken every important category that we need to focus on, and they've broken it down into little snippets. So if you can't sit and listen to an hour training, you can go through half of it and then go back to it. So I highly advise that you do that sooner than later, because obviously we don't know if that'll still be there, you know, after this year's conference.
Donna, is that the one that's just her talking and no pictures?
There are some that have pictures, Melba, and some don't.
Because I noticed these, like this new call series that we've had, like Call One and Call, those have been great, and they keep my attention. But to sit there and listen to somebody just bores me to death.
I know, Melba.
I need to see somebody.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You could just always put a picture of all of us up while you're listening, and then you'll be okay. So skill, if you feel like skill is your bucket that you need to invest in, it's there. If you feel like it's not there and there's something specific that you're looking for, then you need to reach out to us, because we definitely can direct you into the correct area. Okay. Now the next bucket is habit. and I can tell you that that's my bucket, is because sometimes I don't work within the systems that are available to us. And I'm going to talk a little bit to do a real quick recap of call 1 and call 2. And Melody Govic talks about systems, especially during the summertime. Okay. I don't have children at home, but I can tell you my brain gets into summer mode super easy. You know, I'm like, oh, well, maybe, you know, everyone's going to the lake today. I'm going to go to the lake today. So you have to realize that even though it's summertime, we still have to find some type of structure. So with habit and systems also comes accountability. So if you haven't made yourself accountable to someone and shared those goals that we talked about right from the beginning, then you're doing yourself a disservice. So if habit is your bucket, you know, then you know what you need to work on. The last bucket is belief. And belief can sometimes be hard because we are self-employed and stuff happens, okay? You know, things get in the way. We don't get enough bookings. All of a sudden we question. We question ourselves. We question our company. We question the industry. So your belief has to just be so strong, and it should be something that it's a constant work in progress. Okay. I'm not going to ask you what bucket you feel like you need your work in, but you do need to kind of have that something that you want to work on before the next program starts. Okay. So if you haven't listened to the call series, I'm just going to briefly, you know, go through that. The first thing that Melody talks about on call number 1 is to have a plan in the summer. Summer is vital to have a plan. And she talks about literally scheduling everything that needs to happen during the summer, from her personal life to her work time to scheduling her work time. And you've heard this before. She takes an hour on Sunday afternoon and she plans out what's going to happen for the entire week, down to folding the laundry. What day she's going to fold the laundry. Because it's easy to get distracted. Because we're like, oh, well, that laundry's over there. I better go fold it. It's going to run out the door if I don't. Okay. So she does that scheduling, which is so important. She also worked by the list of 25 contacts. And I'm not sure who asked for that, but let me screen share. Let me pull this up. I
posted it today, Donna.
Oh, good. Okay. This was Crystal's. So I highly advise that you all go ahead and print, because this is supposed to be 25 contacts a week. Okay. I'm going to say that's not enough. Okay. If you want to be a director sooner than later, or if you want a stronger business sooner than later, you should be making 25 contacts at the minimum every 48 hours, because those contacts you can see, you know, can be a second contact, a third contact, a fourth contact. Some of those follow-ups can be fast. So now I'm going to tell you what I did today, because I'm afraid of going into Facebook jail. So I went into my virtual party survey and I texted everyone that I needed to follow up with. And and I booked 2 parties that I really feel like I wouldn't have booked if I had messaged them on Facebook. Okay. So, you know, do the text replacement so you're not having to, retype everything. That training is on, in your units, so you can just go ahead, and do that. So scheduling is key. And also look at your time wasters. let's just go around. What are some of you feel like are some of your biggest time wasters right now during the summer? Penny?
Yeah, binge watching.
Binge watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have a really bad habit of like starting something and then I'm like, oh, I got to do that. I jump around a lot. It's my adult ADD going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's just easier to get lazy in the summer.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right. Anyone else have time wasters?
Mine's like playing on my phone. Like I'll get my phone and I'll start, texting people or making phone calls or whatever. And then I'll go, oh, I'll just take a break and play like a quick game of solitaire. And all of a sudden it's like, 45 minutes later, and I'm playing games on my phone. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yep. Anyone else can think of any other time wasters?
And Facebook scrolling, that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
to
Those
get
those cute babies. I want to block Jamie Swanson. She posts those babies, and I am like, people, I cannot deal with it. I'm already having wanting to be grandma syndrome. So it's tough. Yeah, Facebook is one of your biggest time wasters. As you think about it, all of a sudden you start shopping. Oh, look at that pretty little dress on the side there. I better go to that side and I better look at that. All of a sudden, there you are. A half hour later, you can't even remember what you went to Facebook in the first place for. So, Janae, did you want to say something? You're muted. Let's unmute you. Okay, you're good.
Every time I see like a puppy dog or something in Facebook, I think of who was it at the leader conference that was talking about, if you see a puppy dog, you've been on the Facebook too long or something like that. So now I think, I gotta get off Facebook. I just saw a dog.
Exactly. You have to put up a big sign that asks yourself, is this an income producing activity? So she talked about bring your business with you in the summer. So, carrying catalogs, being prepared. She talked about making up, 5 to 10 host packets at a time. Think about that. If you're going to make up that many host packets at a time, you're going to want to make sure you give those host packets out. So that could be the visual reminder that you don't have enough shows booked. Okay. She made the comment is to always ask yourself, are you open for business? Are you prepared? Okay. So that was kind of the first call really is about getting ready. So if you feel like you're not ready, Janae and whoever else listens, is there anything else that bless you, Kim, any other takeaways that you guys heard on that call?
Was that the one where writing things down the night before? I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
And
that's a good idea because you process.
Setting a time when you're on Facebook, if that was one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, anyone else can share anything?
She said to be flexible, but that was not optional or something like that. She's saying
exactly. Hours are flexible, but they're not optional.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, Kay, how are you? Thanks for joining us. All right, so then the next call was really about getting bookings. And I'm going to tell you, you need, even if you've listened to that call once, listen to it again, because there was fabulous ideas that are very current to what's happening in Facebook right now. Okay, so one idea that I had never even thought of, she goes through her birthday. She does a birthday month.
I like that one.
So it was happy birthday. This is your birthday month. How would you like to pamper yourself, with having a pampered chef party and giving yourself birthday gifts. Okay, that's not how she said it, but if you see posts in there, it'll show you. So she does those birthday posts. She truly feels that her most, and this was one of the things that they talked about at that one webinar. She said, there's 5 action steps to driving new customers to your business. So the first question you have to ask yourself and you look for is, who is your ideal customer? Okay. We're pretty fortunate. Anyone that eats can be our customer. So the second thing you want to do is to grab their attention. The third thing is build relationship. And Kim Manning will tell you that is something that she's seen good results doing. The fourth is follow up. And the fifth, after you've done those first 4, the fifth is where you close the sale. So what, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who did call number 2. I can't think of her name. But what she does by building a relationship and finding out who her customers are is she goes live. She goes live in her page at least once a day, because that's what people want to see. They want to see you preparing something. They want to see you demonstrating something. They want it short. They want it sweet. Okay. Those of you that are in the sharing spoon, you saw I put the challenge through is to do a 2-minute demo demonstrating a product with the camera just focused on your hands. Okay. That is the best thing you can do to practice yourself, because if you can't do it in front of the people that love you, you're never going to be able to go live on Facebook and do it. So use us as your guinea pigs. Okay. Practice on us. So that is the best thing that you can do to drive engagement is by going live. Okay. All right. So the other thing is she then talks about, she gets the bookings when she's going live, because after she sees who's watching, then she's messaging people. Now, to get bookings within her party, she says to ask yourself these questions. Did you make it fun? Did you make it personal? And did you post pictures of yourself so people connect to you? Okay. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have your makeup on. Just, you know, if you're doing something with your kids or with your family and it's around food, or it's just you having a picnic with your family or around the table. It doesn't have to be always demonstrating a product in selling mode. It's about them connecting to you as a person. Okay. She says that instead of putting a post in there that says comments, what she'll do is she does an engagement post that, like, so it'll be a game. Here's the word scramble. You know, so once you have the answer, I want you to message me the answer. Because the problem is when we're messaging people, again, Facebook is taking that on as we're stalking them. So, but when you have those people, the call to action is to message you, then, you know, that kind of opens the doors. Okay. So create a game. And then she talked about every time that you're doing a video, if you're trying to do 3 products, you know, try to have 3 products at least in the picture so people can see that. And that was about my highlights from that. Does anybody who watched it have anything else that they wanted to add on? All right. So here is where we kind of have to make the decision about where you want to go with your business moving forward. You said you wanted to have a leadership role. You also called yourself out on the fact that you didn't do all the steps that were necessary to get the results. And thank heavens with Pampered Chef, there's always second chances. So, but here's what's going to happen next. We have a program that's going to be starting July 9th. Let me get my notes so I'm giving you the right date. July 9th. And it is a program that will be every July 9th, the 16th, the 30th, and every Tuesday in August with Love Carpenter and Becky Ishii. And it will be on, so it's all about summer success. Now, what's going to be really neat about this, it's not going to be like other programs that we've had in the past. Every call will have an inspirational speaker, somebody who has walked in your shoes and has overcome obstacles, different obstacles. So you'll hear someone's story to start with, and then there will be a training that will apply to that story. You also get the opportunity to be, you know, partnering with Love Carpenter, who Love promoted since January 10, first generation directors. 10. Okay. And Becky Ishii, National Executive Director. So we're inviting you to participate in it, but if you're not ready to do the work, we're going to say, you know what, maybe you need to stop and do, you know, look at getting those bookings on your calendar first. Okay. Now, the first thing that we're going to ask you to do is and Cindy and Amy and Jamie and I made the decision that we do have a 48-hour call to action in order to participate in the upcoming program. And that means to invite 2 new people to the opportunity event tomorrow. So if you really want to be in this program, you'll find 2 new people to join the opportunity call. The opportunity call is going to be very interesting, I'll tell you. Christina McIntosh and Jenny Davis are going to do live and a few posts. And so it will not be like other opportunity events. So that's your first thing. The next thing is that you want to book 2 new parties in the same 48 hours. So you got 2 people and 2 parties in 48 hours. What I'll do is I will post with the recording your call to action, and then you will comment from that post that you've done your 2 call to actions in the 48 hours, and then you'll be receiving the invite to the Summer of Success series. Okay. All right. So, any questions? Okay. So, how many of you are first going to work on your buckets? Okay. That's your starting point. I truly believe
tomorrow a Facebook thing.
it is. It's in the group. So it's in
okay.
the group. It's not an event. It is in the group.
Okay. Thank you.
Now you know that the 4 of us, Jamie, Amy, Cindy, and I, we have the utmost confidence that you guys can do this. You just have to make the decision to do it. You have to make the decision to get super uncomfortable and reach out to people that you're like, oh, I don't want to do it. You need to get to that. I don't want to do it. And then do it anyways. That's what's going to give you the results that you deserve. And each and every one of you deserve the same success that the 4 of us have received. Okay? So if you don't have any questions, I'm going to give you a little bit of time. Kim?
The opportunity event, is that still the PC Your Way?
It is still PC Your Way. Mm-hmm. So it is, all the posts have been taken out, so you can start to comment to your people, your new people there. But you will want to put, now remember, I can see who added who. So I'm going to know if you added 2 new people in 40, by tomorrow. You don't even get 48 hours to add the 2 people. You better get going. Your 24 hours is ticking away right now. So start inviting and start thinking about who your bookings are, and that you have got an extra day on the bookings, but you have 0 time on the recruiting. So I want all of you to be in the next call series because this is going to be a really, really impactful series. You're going to hear some stories. Get the tissue box out because it's going to be a really, really awesome series. So, all right. So have at it, ladies. I will see some of you at conference. And will I see everyone at conference? No, Penny? Lisa, I don't know if I saw your name on the list. Okay. Okay. All right. Good luck, everyone. Have a good evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.